13th of August now, 2:45. Bit cloudy today, but it's a good temperature, guess wise. I reckon 60 minutes, dependable on the viewers, as always. So let's have a look at the FIDE World Cup and identify the remaining games. So we've got Minguez Perez, play Alexei Sorana. We got Vidit playing Nepomniachtchi, so I'm just gonna look at this one because it looks very intense. Did he run? Oh, right. So he got half an hour now because the 40 move had been played. So that's the current position now. Vidit and Nepomniachtchi. I think Magnus Carlsen defeated Vasily Vanchuk. So that's what we got at the minute. All right. Try and readjust things a bit. Hello, Step 65. How's it going, mate? How's it going? Okay. So, glad to see you, buddy. Virtually speaking. So this is Jan Nepomniachtchi versus Vidit, or Vidit. Okay. And it is Blackstone. Position is being deemed as perfectly balanced, perfectly even by the engine. In the most objective manner, we got 0.00. That's move 41. Very impressive. You wouldn't expect less from the super GMs that they are. Can't expect less from these guys. So that means they fought very evenly, very equally, so to speak. If I understand this correctly, what might happen if Black Knight captures the pawn here, step 65? You reckon it would be just queen capturing back like this? I mean, just saying. King G7 had been played already. Do you reckon that... I mean, this is the first glance I'm looking at it. I haven't pre-analyzed the position. I haven't looked at it before. I'm just looking at it now. Just finishing my coffee. Probably I'll go and get another one. Nice little pin here. Nice little pin. Question is, can White bring another attack on this knight? Because if you don't pressurize the pin piece... Okay. Do I see more incoming checks? Could be. Could be. Yeah, that could be, exactly. Black wins the central pawn. That is correct. Now, if they take... Okay, this is here. Oh, have you noticed, step 65, that Nepomniachtchi now is actually having... Do you actually see that? He's having 1 hour, 20 minutes? Blimey, this is enormous time for Jan Nepomniachtchi. And Vidit must have fought very long and hard because Vidit is less than half an hour. I mean, he just got the half an hour because they went move 40. And very interesting. Maybe he was. Maybe Nepomniachtchi was in here. But it's very impressive. I mean, 1 minute, 23 minutes. Sorry, 1 hour, 23 minutes. It's not just a bit of time advantage. It's huge time difference. Huge. If he was in preparation, kudos to him. Very impressive. Very impressive. They're very interesting. Wow. Actually can't believe that. 40, so oh my god, so much time spent by Vidit and Yan, just huge difference. No idea what they played. Good question. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop C4. That's an Italian by the looks of it. So it looks like they played an Italian game. Bishop C4, bishop C5, C3. Okay, that was an Italian. I don't know what variation of the Italian, but there's definitely an Italian. Gioco Piano. The Gioco Piano. Okay, whose turn is it? Ian. Ian can just sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee, watch the position for 20 minutes, and then take a decision 20 minutes later and then play it. If I may say that. I mean, this is just, I mean, yeah, you could go get a coffee, have a chat with a friend, come back. I mean, play a move, go out, get a coffee, come back. I don't know, have a ciggy or something or not. Return and think for more 20 minutes, then make a move. That's cool. Wow. Wow. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You can put the alarm. Yeah, you can put it on the wristwatch. Set the alarm for half an hour. Take a nap. Tell the look, guys, I'm a little bit sleepy now, so let me have a quick nap. Yeah, and in half an hour you just wake up, play a move. Sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good one. Okay, 93 tells me that probably we are looking at knight c4, which knight c4, well, hits the queen. And you also have to be careful because the queen is actually the defender of the knight. If the knight were to move, just to showing to all our friends, this guy will be dropping. So the b7 pawn will be captured with tempo, with check. So I'm not fully convinced that the black knight should be leaving. It's something to ponder over. So now that it actually, did you notice? Ian moves very fast. Probably he's in good shape also. He's in very good mental shape because Ian moves quite fast. And Vidit tends to spend some minutes to mull over and take the correct decision. He's just a bit faster. Seems to be. Seems to be a bit faster, Ian. And not just faster moving far, but also moving very well. Very good, decent move. He's in good shape. The White Knight can just is very happy where they are. Stops the Black Queen. Defended. There's no problem. Black needs to be very careful though. So Black has to be careful. There are actually step 65 and Olaf friends. There are actually two weaknesses for Black here. I know that the engine says perfectly equal. I understand that. But actually Black has to be careful because B7 is a weakness and C5 is a weakness. So those are two things Black has to be very careful with. White, it's a bit more comfortable. And then again, this move, queen to e7, wants to say, I'm going to look after the b7 pawn so I can move the knight somehow, perhaps taking the central pawn. That's what it means. Probably means that they are ready to go for the pawn. And now the last move of Ian means you're taking my pawn, I take your pawn, attacking the knight and hitting the h4. Very elegantly played by Ian. Very elegantly. Very nice, very surgical and superb. And boy, oh boy, have you noticed how quickly he played? Have you noticed, Ian, how brisk he was in his reaction? Did you notice, guys? I mean, still 1 minute 23. Still 1 minute 23 here. And, you know, apparently Vidit does spend more time. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. In the eyes of the almighty stockfish, things are perfectly under control. For a human, black looks like they need to be slightly more careful than white here. White is sort of doing the attacking at the minute now, and he spends more time. Will he take here? Well, if you take again, I think queen takes a4, and you have to be careful about this. You have to either defend the knight or move the knight away. And if you move the knight away, then you're going to be dropping another pawn. And then if you're looking at this, queens come off the board, just showing to all our friends. And I'm not quite sure. Very interesting. Should white be playing f3 or it feels incredibly flimsy? Or should we go knight g4, knight c4, checks? A couple of ideas. I'm not sure. Queen b4? Queen b4, I wonder. So there are kind of like 3, 4 candidate moves. But hey, guys, Nepomniachtchi is on 1 hour, 20 minutes, 22 minutes. He can afford any strategical deep thought processes because this is a luxury here. Yeah, Nepomniachtchi now, I think it's a position of great luxury. He has got all the time in the universe, all the time in the world now. He could do whatever the heck he wants. He can think straight 40 minutes. He could take a nap. He could go and eat like 3 burgers and come back. I don't know what the Nepomniachtchi eats, but anyway, just saying. Wow. He could go, take a tube, take the underground, go visit a museum, come back, and he's still got time. Wow. Oh boy. So, what do you think, Step 65? If you were with white pieces here, with white pieces, what would you play? Would you do queen to b4? Just to, keep the queen targeting various things like this diagonal, and this pawn, and defending, so to speak. There is some knight probably, but not fully convinced. Uh, there are some ideas. There are always ideas. The engine says it's perfectly equal, but hey, we are not the engine. We are humans. Maybe sloppy moves sometimes. So tell me your candidate moves, guys. What would you play with white here? Would you play f3? Play knight c4? Would you play knight g4 to elicit a little bit of pawn moving on the king's side? Because when they move, they also might be creating some weaknesses. Well, I don't know. Um, yeah, f3 is maybe not the wisest choice ever. Because this e4 is indirectly... Oh, nice one. I think I did specify the queen to a8, which is a check. Force the king back on the 7th rank. Question is to what exact extent? Would you like to play like this? I don't know. No. The e4 still, though, is important. Or maybe he wants to play f3 first. I don't know. It's not clear. Maybe, okay, what is going on? I think Nepomniachtchi will actually plays this for winning. He managed. Oh, that's very nice. He actually keeps a couple of weaknesses in check, so to speak. If knight moves, this guy will be dropping, attacking along the 4th rank. If I mean, queen has to stay on the dark square because knight is a gunner. So he actually placed the queen on a very good position, and he is just waiting for his opponent to do something, who is more or less in Zugzwang, more or less. More or less. Probably, maybe Vidit would like to just say pass. Knight a4, queen a4, and f5. Perhaps that comes at a cost, step 65. Namely, the g4. Well, hold on a second. So knight plays queen a, a5, f5, f5. Can then queen c4. It's an idea. It's an idea. Will Vidit actually commit to playing that? You see, the stress seems to be now on Vidit. And he looks like he spends a lot of time thinking about what to play. Whereas Nepomniachtchi just pretty much instantly. And he doesn't play bad moves. He just plays very, very decent, very good ones, and he moves fast. Vidit, on the other hand. Oh, let me just close this window. Sorry, guys, stay where you are. Cool one. Cool one. Okay. Good to be back. Right. What is Vidit gonna do? You see, you could take here. Queen a4 makes a ton of sense. I think it's a very good one to consider. f5. Okay. f3. Knight g3. We gotta be very careful. King h2. We have to be very careful. I'm not fully convinced. If we play any f3, you either play it now. It is dangerous. If we play any f3, we might want to play it now. Because later, after knight takes e4 and you push f3, you're actually getting in trouble. Knight g3 is incredibly, incredibly limiting for the white king. And controls quite a couple of squares. And you might have some issues. I mean, queen might be coming down, and I mean, there are some issues here. It is dangerous. It is dangerous. You gotta tread very carefully here. I'm not a great fan of allowing the knight and then pushing f3. I mean, if they take and you take, you still, I don't think you want to play f3. f2 is important to take that square. And frankly, it still defends the white knight. So I think that would be weakening. That would be weakening for white to play that. But Vidit had spent 2 or 3 more minutes. Still yet to decide what to play. And he moved the king. Guys, that was he didn't want to commit. He didn't like what he saw. He didn't like to take on e4, actually. So Nepomniachtchi let him decide, okay, do you want to take on e4? Go take on e4. That's fine. You're free. Just go take it. He didn't. He didn't. And Nepomniachtchi spent maybe 20 seconds. He just spent like 20 seconds. He played queen a8. Still eyeing the pawn on b7, eyeing the pawn on a4. So I would assume knight takes queen a4 straight away. He is just waiting to see what can he possibly exploit. If maybe Vidit creates a weakness or something. He's waiting. He's like a sort of like predator or something. He's just sitting back, enjoying his coffees, and he's waiting. With a fabulous time control. Absolutely unbelievable time control from Nepomniachtchi. Wow. What a splendid management. Queen h8. This is a very important idea, step 65. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. King, you called it. He played it. You called it. He played it. Now, the question is, oh boy, is Nepomniachtchi willing to draw? I don't know, just asking. I mean, does he want to just draw? I know the engine says it's perfectly equal. I'm fully aware. But if white could generate a little bit of complications, a little bit of problems here, if he could just, making things a bit more challenging for black, you might elicit some mistakes, errors, sloppy moves or something, given the fact he's also going low on time. It goes low on time. Again, it is equal from the engine's point of view, which is the most objective point of view. But from the human side, yeah, I think if I was white, I mean, you kind of have to win. And I think Ian should be using this circumstance should be using the fact he's actually 1 minute sorry, 1 hour 20 minutes, and he's got loads of time. He should be using this as an opportunity, actually. I don't know, maybe it's time to play King H2 for white, just say, because obviously for Vidit now, there's just nothing to move. There's more or less Zugzwang, step 65. It's more or less, I'd rather not move nothing from black's point of view. In the moment you jump on e4, this guy's gonna fall. You gotta tread very carefully. Very, very carefully indeed. So probably a good strategy would be for Ian to not draw, find some way to continue, try to choose another sequence. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. But we are humans and we are fallible. So that's another aspect. I don't deny he's a super GM. Of course he's a super GM. There's no one there's no doubt about it. But you're playing a human and psychological aspect is huge, and you're having whites and you sort of have to win. So just play a move, something that doesn't worsen things up. You got a ton of time, 1 minute, 1 hour, 20 minutes. So try and find out something, continue the grind, and black will have to eventually respawn somehow. We'll have to play something. What about a5, b4 ideas? Can we explore that? I think it happened anyway, but maybe then queen c4. I mean, just looking at it. This. Hmm, probably. Just to take the light squares, and then what? I mean, just looking at various ideas. What is to be exploited here? IG. We're just trying to replace stuff around here on the board. Maybe something crops up. It's not very obvious, though. It's not very obvious. There is no very obvious plan to create something. Videt's still thinking, though, but I don't think black can just try anything. I think if Videt tries very hard to do something, he might be just worsening. I think the only stuff Videt needs to do now is just to play f7, g7, f7, g7. Do you think I'm correct, step 65, guys? f7, g7, that's all Videt needs to do, I guess. You don't need to push no pawn, you don't need to do nothing. Uh, he can't afford pushing any pawn anywhere. So nothing has to be moved. Apart from this kind of stuff. And if Ian wants to draw, so be it. Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts on this. Step 65, that's exactly going. Oh, and I need. So, yeah, he should do king f7, and let's see, is Ian going to play a8, and then you're going to go g7, and the ball is in Ian's court. He will just have to decide if he wants to draw or not. I mean, what else? Okay, so that is Vidit, Ian, and Vidit. Let me just briefly go back before these guys take decision. We've got Salem and Abbasov. Okay, so these guys are playing. Fabi and Duda. I'm sure this is a heck of a game. Here. Duda with white being smashed by Fabi. Ooh. Double attack on c4, bishop on the threat. What do you play? That is cool. If you move the bishop, you might be getting this kind of checks. You got to be very careful. On the other hand, this pawn is going to come down. That's a very good ending situation here. Look at this one, guys. So he took on c4, but this pawn's going to take with check, with tempo. So you got to be very careful. You're moving here, you might be having more problem. It's very difficult for white. It's very, very difficult for white. These passes are a nightmare. They are rolling down, and it's incredibly painful for white. I don't know how Duda can play here. It's tough as hell. Very tough. Question is, should you take the queen off or should you check with this guy? Moving here. Then you gotta be careful though a bit. Should you then what? Taking then and rook takes and then just calm down with the other pawn. Well, so probably trading off the queens, guys, or checking first. What would you do, step 65? Would you check on f3 or trade queens off first? I think I would just go f3. A check is a check. Because you know why? Because if they go something like g3, I might be having another check. Yeah, I think it's quite nice to having the queen. So I would probably plead for some f3 in case white were to play on dark squares. I might be getting another check. I would expect after f3, king to f2. Then you still have to think a little bit what you do next. Can you give this pawn? This is an interesting one. F3, king f2. Is e3 a reasonable pawn sacking? Or enabling more checks and stuff? Oh, okay. Fabi's on 8 minutes. This is more balanced compared with the Nepomniachtchi Vidit, where there's a huge time difference in between the two combatants. Okay. Yeah, f3 for sure. F3. Then king f2. Then either trade queens or giving this pawn. And this guy takes this. It's quite scary. It's quite scary. So I won the f3 and then e3. Oh, that's a good one. Let's find out. The engine says f3, the second line of the engine. The first line is rook d7. Very, very freaking surgical. The engine says, okay, forget about the pawns. Let's just grab this pawn. And if they take, I take, pressurizing the pawn. The engine doesn't mess around. Bang, rook d7, nice and simple. Efficient. Trade-off stuff. I've got two passes. Let's get rid of the queens. Easy job. And f3, the second line of the engine. King f1. The engine says probably you shouldn't play f2 because of the pawn sacrifice. So he says king f1. After f3, f1, not f2. I reckon knight f2, not f2 because of the check. And it's a problem because if you accept it, we'll be having another check. And this is looking very, very scary. Very scary. So that's the reason king f1. So you're not getting checked. But it's looking very grim indeed. Very grim indeed. Wow. Takes, and then pushing more guys down. Oh, this is very scary indeed. Okay, probably Fabio will be finding a way to capitalize here. Yeah, trading queens is not the best option. Seemingly, you either check or you reinforce on the d file. Either trading off the queens or targeting the d4 white pawn. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, it's very good for black. Yeah, he went for f3, what we have actually anticipated, and that was our first choice. F3 indeed. You can't go wrong with this kind of check. And Duda will have to spend some time. It's very difficult for white here. Very difficult for white. Not an easy one for Fabi, but if he plays carefully and the guy is incredibly accurate, he should be able to capitalize. I mean, the end, yeah, King F1. So what's he gonna play now? Is he gonna do this kind of stuff? He's gonna do Rook to D. I think Rook to D, and if Queen takes, Rook takes, and if Rook defends, you go E3, and this bad for White again. Again. Is there any other ideas? Not sure. Any other? Tough one for the young Polish grandmaster. It's a tough one. Very difficult for White here. Very, very, very scary. Those two black pawns, backed by the rooks and by the rook. And now let's see what happens with the queen, though. Is he gonna trade? No, no, no. He's not gonna trade. He's not gonna trade. He's gonna eventually get rook to D, or maybe relocate the queen. Yeah, exactly as I said it. Maybe he wants to do this kind of stuff. You know, still keep it simple, nice and effective. If you had the queen on e7, wouldn't you push this pawn down the board? Not mentioning you also having queen traveling to h4 as an idea, and I think it's very, very much game over if black manages to do this kind of things, like queen e7, e3, and this is so bad for white, so bad for. So queen to e7, black pawn on e3, and I think it's probably Duda gonna resign. Probably. Let's go back to Vidit step 65. So let's see if Vidit and Nepomniachtchi decided to do something else than that queen a8, king g7 stuff. Okay, so hey, they drew, dude. They drawn. That's it. They drew. King f8, and Jan said, "Okay, that's enough. It's time to get those burgers." He said, "That's fine. Let's just go eat some." Okay, he didn't want to force nothing. Okay, with a huge amount of time, 1 hour 21 minutes. Hold on a second. Yeah, even the engine says it's a dead draw here. Queen a8, queen b8. Yeah, even the engine says it's nothing you can squeeze out of this position. It's not too much you can get out of it. So, okay. Okay, let's go back to then. Yeah, this one looks good. Fabi and Duda. Fabi and Duda. Or Duda and Fabi, yeah. Well, the only way for play here, being white, is just trying to push this guy and create some threats in this fashion. Can you play with black now? Queen e7, defending this guy. They're gonna be pushing this pawn down the board. And if you take, they're gonna take with check for sure. Also creating the space for the rook to give more checks. You have to play this one very, very carefully. Let me tell you something about Queen e7 ideas. Queen e7, I don't think it's a bad move at all. I absolutely don't think it's a bad move. It's great. Queen e7, white may play d6. Do you see the subtlety here? If you touch the pawn, you're going to lose the rook. d6 is a move that Fabi needs to think about, and that's the reason he actually spends those seconds now. If you play queen, yeah, Exactly. He actually moved the rook over. If you do this, I'm going to take your guy, and my rook is no longer exposed to queen's diagonal. So rook to e7 had to be played because this was a real threat with d6. And now you could potentially just push this guy one more. That's it. He solved it. You defend the pawn. You ensure you're going to go one more time, nice and safe. There might be a check here, though. But I guess you could even play g6. And white's still having big problems here. Absolutely better with the rook. If you did with the queen, you might have had some very serious issue because that pawn couldn't have been taken. And that means the queen should have moved. And the problem is where exactly you're going to go with that queen because the pawn wants to go one more time. So you're creating a chaos over there. So rook e7 actually was the only one. Oh boy, that's e4 is the key to success, is the key to victory. You can't drop that pawn because that pawn would have been taken with check. Hi there, turn-based chess. Good to see you, brother. Yes, and mind you guys, the two passes, the two black passes are closer and it's incredibly scary looking. You can't do too much, I'm afraid. He's trying, he's trying. I don't know, just push e3, right? Push e3? Hell, push one more time. Probably. Ain't gonna go here. Gotta be careful though. Let's think a bit. What's going on here? What is going on here? The black queen seems to be slightly unhappy. Should you play queen? No, I don't think so. It just feels a bit weird. It's that kind of d4. Of course he can. Yeah, of course he can. Yes, that's true. What? Queen, rook e5, queen d4. Well, I'll take with the queen then. I think it's losing for white. So rook e5 is actually quite decent. And if queen d4, just take the pawn with the queen. And then what? It's even easier for black, I would assume. And no, no, no. Look, we are verbalizing all the thoughts now that cross our minds. So there you go. You called it. You're not blind. You're actually a seer. You're not blind at all. You're actually seeing too much. You just need to follow the thoughts and see if they're good. And actually, you had a very good thought. Rook e5. Good. Very good. So let's look at that one. What if we attack first the queen with the rook? So we don't take with the queen, but we take with the rook instead. They can't touch the pawn because the queen is on free. They gotta move. Where? Rook takes, and potentially after queen plays, we might be able to force a rook straight. Just saying. So I guess now rook has to take, right? So Fabi should be taking with the rook? Or I'm missing something here. Rook d5, right? Let's ask the engine. I think it's absolutely winning rook d5. Because the bar went even more, -4. Rook d5. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, you've gotta be kidding me. There's something wrong with rook d5? What the heck's going on? This is annoying. Why is it? Okay, but it's not losing. Okay, I know that the engine is very, very special. But hey, make no mistakes, step 65. Rook d5, the move we proposed, it's absolutely very, very reasonable. It's not a blunder. Probably the other moves were slightly stronger in the... But from a human point of view, you are attacking the queen with tempo. The pawn on e4 can't be touched. You even have more advantage, and you might potentially play even rook to d, which had just been stopped now. Very nice in between check. Absolutely superb. Very nice in between check. Whoa. Now, forget about the a7 pawn. That's the last thing on our. No, we are only concerned here from Fabi's point of view. We only concerned with these pawns. Check again. Very nice, and not just check. Wow, that's you still can't move this guy. Is pinned. Look at this. It's pinned. What are you gonna play? But you're gonna play this kind of crazy? No, 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 no. You're just losing everything. It's crazy. This is crazy blunder. I don't know. Uh, this. No, you can't. This guy's gonna fall. You need to generate a counterattack or something. This. No, no. I'm afraid we have to play a rook behind the pawn. Rook takes. Takes, queen takes, check. It's not over. It's not over yet. Black has some leading advantage here. Okay, he played rook d4. If this is gonna happen, is there any other checks? Yes, there is here. It's important to do some in-betweens. Maybe you can... I don't think you take with the rook. I don't think you take back with the rook. After rook takes, you gotta do another check. Um, Queen f2, says the engine. Queen a6. Rook takes e4, queen g6. Oh, this is brutal. Oh, this is so nice. If rook e4, queen g6. I mean, you can't say you don't like this. This is just beautiful. This is just glorious. So rook takes e4, queen g6. Wow. Wow. So that's the latest revelation. Oh, absolutely. The a7 pawn don't matter now. The only pawns that matter is the e4 and f3. They do matter. The other guys were still debatable. So that's the priority for black. I think that's why the engine gives black minus 5.7. It's because of these two passes in particular. That's the reason. But this one is a nice one. Rook e4, queen g6 pin. This is a nice one. And I'm afraid for white is just not too many options. It's not. There's no checks. He can't check. It's completely time wasting to push any pawns anywhere. They just don't mean nothing. Moving king, it's madness again. You go on the dark squares, you gotta discover check and goodbye queen. It's a disaster. You can't move the king. You just can't move the white king. The white king can't move. The pawns can't move. It's completely ridiculous. The pawns can't move. The king can't move. The queen, like where? Where do you want to move the queen? I don't know. If you move the queen, I don't know. Let's say here, you have a problem with queen b2 straight away, I guess. For instance, there might be something else as well. G5, yeah, we can call it the last stand because there's just nothing else. Yes, turn-based chess, you are correct, I think. It's just nothing else left to do for... I mean, apart from resigning, you just do G5. It makes sense. I mean, it's very grim. There is no good moves for white here. It's very grim everything for white. So Krzysztof now probably just G5. I mean, what else? There's just nothing here. I mean, G5 would be the only move that actually might potentially generate some other checks and forcing the black king a bit out in the open, so to speak. And if the king gets on G6, you might say, okay, I'm having this and If rook takes, queen takes, maybe you can dream of lasting a bit longer. So g5. Of course, then it's black's turn. I guess they're not just going to sit and wait. Probably you can shut off the whole thing with queen g6. Reinforcing this guy. Attacking this fella here. Probably. I mean, you want to be nice and safe here. You don't want to mess around. You are just so close to winning. You know, someone said that it's very difficult to win a game which is already won. You've got to play very, very positional now. You know, forget about crazy tag. You got to be very positional. Okay, a little bit of a pin. Oh, not just the pin. Forget about the pin, guys. I apologize. It's queen h4, actually. It's actually queen h4, amongst others. But here is the in-between check. If this rook were to be here, wouldn't that be great? Can we play this and this? Oh, okay, that's a battery. Exactly, that makes sense. Guess what? Rook d2 is the option for black here. And then potentially this. And I think it's time for white to just resign. I don't know. What else can they do? Because queen to d6, it's such a killer. You can't even move the queen. I mean, this is just... I can't even breathe. Okay, what? Queen to h4. Check, moves here. Where is the other check? I don't see any other checks here. And then this one's coming. Yeah, probably he needs to resign. And it is what it is. So you do one more check and then like what? Because rook d2 is coming for sure. Okay, what can you do? This? Queen e3? Yeah, but then we got check. And then mate. So you just simply can't go anywhere. You do queen e3, 1, 2. Checkmate. So probably Duda should resign at this stage. Yeah, there's no... Is there any counterplay, ladies and gents? And I'm missing something? I don't see any way to continue this match for white. Yeah, it must be painful for Krzysztof. He can't let go. It's just game over. Yeah, exactly. Step 65. Exactly right. Exactly. He tried to. But apart from one single check on h4, after g8, there is nothing else to attack. You can't. Pretty much nothing. Yeah, I think he'll be resigning or what, getting flagged or something. What did he play? You've got to be kidding me, right? He played king f1. Okay, rook d2. Can we go rook d2? And I'm curious what's white gonna play. Check, right? g8. Okay. He really wants to squeeze everything. If you look at it, the only way here, I mean, he's just gonna lose. And if he's gonna lose, he tries to use every single last trick available on the board right now. So he gonna lose, right? Okay, cool. So he goes for this. Rook d2, queen h4, king g8, and you're gonna think of playing something else. Like what? Like g5. But then the queen launches in. You're still not gonna check the black king with anything. There is no other checks coming. Yeah, so probably it's... Oh, mind you, it's just one move. Oh, okay. Okay, Fabi wants to finish the circus. Fabi wants to put an end to this. Rook d1. Very blatantly, he wants to end it all. He wants to end it. Still check. G8. Okay. Looking at this. Okay. Rook takes. King takes. Check. No, I don't think so. If rook takes, queen has to take. But then still checks coming. Then you move and more checks coming. Then I don't know. You move, the pawn's coming down. Okay, he wants to play it until the very last bit. Okay. I mean, he lost anyway, so I mean, I can understand his points of view. He kind of lost anyway, so why not? After all, it's a FIDE World Cup. You know, who knows if it's gonna happen again or not? So why the heck not? Given the fact, oh, very interesting choice by Fabi. Queen to the boy, I think I would have tried to simplify it somehow. That's a check. Actually, it's quite a powerful move. Actually, it's a powerful move. It's a check. You take. Black's gonna take with the pawn, right? Then this guy, yeah, okay. You're gonna no. I'm talking nonsense. Gonna take with the rook. Then they're gonna be taking here. A very eh. So queen takes, and oh man, he's relentless. Okay, this is just not very clear. Rook takes. Oh my god, rook d2. Rook d2, queen c2 ideas. Okay, he found it. Yeah, they're super gems. They know what they're doing. Now you can't block really. Okay, this is probably gonna. Oof, mate in 8, guys. We have a checkmate in 8 moves here, says the engine. Starting with f2. Well, checkmate in 9. Starting with f2. Not an easy find, but they've got 30 minutes on their clocks now, each of them. So you can read now checkmate in 9 moves, starting with f2. Nice one. f2, king h4. Come on. f2, king h4. Right. Okay. Okay. Sure, f2, king h4. I think Shishtoff at that point just simply resigns after f2. You can't play king h4 as a human. Come on, forget about it. There's no more. Yeah, so Fabi plays like a machine. Checkmate in 6, like a machine. Queen takes d and f1 queen. Winning the rook with promotion protecting. This is sweet. Queen takes d3, f takes e1, queen, check. And game over, right? Okay, I think he's gonna resign now. I think he's gonna resign now. He's gonna resign now. No, yeah, I think yeah, he's just gonna give up now. You can't even take here. Takes, and queen. That's it. This is it. He's gonna resign. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just too much. It's just absolutely too much. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous game by Fabi Caruana. And the fact that he plays so accurately, so positionally, and he played so rigorously in the end with those two passes, it's absolutely fabulous. There's no wonder he was US champion quite a few times, right? How many times was he a US champion? And he's incredibly good. He's incredibly good. Hi there, Sean. How's it going, bud? Fabulous game. Is there any other FIDE World Cup games happening? Let me go back, and then I'm gonna get another nice cup of coffee, and then we'll decide together what to do, guys. Okay. Oh, we've got Pragnananda. Okay, that's the last one, fellas. We've got Pragnananda with Berkey's, I don't know, Ferenc. I don't know how to pronounce. If there's any Hungarian people, they might be telling us how to pronounce it. So, and looks like Prague is demolishing this guy. Uh, this kid, this young lad is incredibly promising. Not just promising, he's very strong at the very moment. It's not just promising that he's gonna be very strong in the future. I think Prague is incredibly strong now. You know, in the future he's gonna be even stronger. So that wasn't the best choice of words. He's already very strong. Already super strong. Another very instructive little piece of chess ending here. But it looks like the advantage is crushing. This guy doesn't stand a chance. This guy can't be moved. Boy, he covered all the squares. How did he cover all the squares? And this is very scary. E6. And if you try this, D5. And good luck. I don't know. Yeah, very big advantage here for Prague. This guy is very strong. Wow. I was so these guys don't mess around. These super GMs, they you know, like Fabi, like Prague, like Nakamura and stuff. These guys really go for the kill every single move. You can't mess around. You can't delay. You can't play funky stuff. That's sweet. And also this bishop here covers any intent of pushing the pawn. Rook is very well positioned on the c file. Uh there's no play for black here. It's Prague's turn though. How would you improve? I think I would just push e6, right? So let's imagine we're having the white pieces like Pragnananda now. Would you guys play e6? What would you do turn-based chess? What would you do step 65? Sean, what would you play here with white? Would you push e6? Or do something else? Let's look for the strongest continuation here. e6, rook e8, c6. Nice. Yeah, nice. Wouldn't you consider maybe d5 would be better? So just, you know, getting the 2 pawns rolling and leave the rook where they are for the time being. Okay, you want to stop any king b6, if I understand correctly. Let me tell you something about bishop g5 turn-based chess. I don't think it's that bad, but could be potentially met with rook g8. Which doesn't mean now white's gonna lose all of a sudden. Doesn't mean you're gonna lose all of a sudden. I think it's a very decent move. Yeah, you could still play probably then bishop f4, but there is no danger with pawn advancing. You're just gonna grab this guy with either pawn or bishop. I don't know which one. Probably with the bishop. Probably. No, with the pawn. Because rook's gonna come here, you're gonna take, king's gonna take, you still wanna keep this guy here. I would say e6, d5, but I think the idea that step proposed, e6, rook c6, it's not that bad either. c6, rook, and rook c6. Rook g5 will free up white's rook. Bishop g5, you're saying? Yes, bishop g5. Um, so we're gonna go like this. Huh. I think bishop g5 is not as strong and scary as e6. The biggest problem for black is the queening. So why not go straight for the queen? I think that will paralyze any attempts from Berkeys to do anything. So if e6 being played now, all the focus, black's focus would be exclusively on stopping this guy and probably this guy too. I'd go like this though. I think I would play e6. And then I'm still up for debate if this or that. I like rook c6 because it just, confines the black king in a very small box in a corner. So e6, rook e8, rook c6, it's a sweet one. It's a very nice idea. I like it. But there is something about this one. Can they just try to scare you into coming down so that they could take your pawn? Not really, as long as you got this guy in place. It should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, let's ask the engine if the engine is happy with. Bloody hell. I mean, this is so annoying, okay? Bishop e3. Bishop e3. You can't be serious. Bishop e3 and king f1. Right. None of them on my radar. Can someone illumine what the heck's going on with bishop e3 and king f1 now? Look, for the sake of argument, I'm going to move e6 just to... Look, he played like a human, okay? He pushed e6. King f1, obviously. Yeah, right. Obvious like the fog. Like the foggiest of the fogs ever. Fly me, king f1. Come on. Okay, I understand the basic idea. Probably it's this. And trying to come closer. But come on. And Prague played the move that I spoken about for the last 10 minutes. E6. And the engine didn't say it's wrong. And bishop e3, forget about it. Just forget about it. I don't do bishop e3. Okay, I understand you want to keep the protection for the pawn whilst you move the rook freely. I get it. But it's not a move I would have considered. But this move that Prague played, that's what I said I would play. E6. King f1 is such an engine move. Such an engine move. King f1, come on. Bishop e3 too is a bit of an engine move. Both of them. e6 is a very human move. Very human. So this is the psychology. Now, some folks might be wondering, what's the difference? Engine move, human move. What's this? I think this is one of those examples that actually make it very obvious what's an engine move, what's a human-like move. That's the example, ladies and gents. Engine move, king f1. Give me a break. If you put a set of Magnus, Nakamura, Fabi Caruana, I don't know if they come up with king f1 as their first choice. Probably they're all going to be saying, just push the freaking pawn on e6. That's what they would say. Wow. So now that forces black, going back to our previous thoughts, is just that forces black to get in front of the pawn. And then you can decide if rook c6 or d5. I like them both. Now, if rook e and d5, what if king, oopsie daisy, what if king to b6 though? Yeah, that's a good question. Probably e7. This. Uh, Wait a minute. It's not very. Wait a minute. E6, rook e, d, king b6. Uh, okay. Rook c6 actually. this, this. I don't want to let the king. Probably my instincts would tell me just do not allow the black king to move on the 6th rank. Do not allow the black king take the b5 pawn. Don't give them nothing. So after rook e8, my instinct would force me to play rook c6 unless I'm seeing something brilliant, which probably I won't. So if I don't see a brilliancy, my case almost never happens. After rook e8, I would probably play rook c6 to protect the pawn and do not allow the black king to moving on the 6th rank. I'm pretty much blocking everything. You mean king b6 now? I think it loses very quickly. I think. So king b6. I'll push the pawn. They're going to do this. I am going to protect the pawn. And if they capture, I am going to give a check. They're going to be moving b4, b6. Let's say b4. Gotta tread very carefully here. I'm gonna be playing this. They're gonna be. This is something to be reckoning with. This is something serious. We can't. Yeah, we can't just be very comfortable. So king b6. Do we do d5? Yeah, but then like this. Now this is a good one. If king b6, if king b6, what does white play? This is a good one. Step 65. This is a good one. King b6, rook c5. And if rook takes d4. Okay, so let's put it this way. King b6, rook c5. Rook takes d4. What are you playing? You're going to go like this? Rook behind e5 to stop any... No, I don't think so. So, hey, he played it, man. So this is the only way to complicate the position. King b6, you called it, Step, and you're correct about it. It's the only way for white to complicate the position. And now Prague needs to prove he's the super GM he is. But let's think for ourselves just a little bit. We're not Prague just yet, but hey, you never know. So rook to c5 drops the d4. That's a bit of a problem. If we push e, so now Prague needs to play the right stuff if you want to win. If we do e, so that's a good case study. It's another brilliant ending. Let me take actually a picture. Let me take a picture. This is a brilliant ending. Black to play. Sorry, white to play. Apologies. White to play. White to play and win because white is on plus 4.6. Bishop g5. Yes, bishop g5 is the move. Bishop g5 is the move. This is it. Because it forces the rook behind. I mean, you know, they got to stop the pawn. Then I'm going to push it one more time. Then if they attack me, I'm going to play this check. They're going to be going, I don't know where. I'm going to be playing... Okay, let's do it again. Bishop g5, rook e8. Maybe pushing this guy. No, pushing the pawn. Wait a minute, again. Bishop this, this, and this. And after this, where the heck do I go? Here, c6. Yeah, I think that's the sequence. Bishop g5, rook e8, pawn d5. King takes b5, rook c6. Is that good enough? No, I'm not playing rook c5. I'm not playing rook c5. No. Again, bishop g5. This is strong. You can't mess with this move. Bishop g5. You can't mess with this move. Bishop g5, rook e8, d5, king b5, rook c6. I think should be okay. You're still maintaining control over the c. You've got the bishop here in place, and the rook can't do nothing. So that's the sequence. How many minutes did it take us? 3, 4 minutes? That gotta be it. It's gotta be it. So let's ask the engine now. Let's see if bishop g5, rook e8, and d5 are actually the moves. Bishop f4. Oh, bishop f4 because of that. Bloody hell, I didn't even think of that. But bishop f4, bishop e... What? F4, bishop e3. Is bishop g5 that bad? Okay, bishop here, I understand. You want to keep this pawn and then you can just do stuff. But is bishop g5 that bad? Let me play it. Ah, crap. So from plus 4.6, we got to plus 3.2. Plus 3.2. It's not a huge losing move. It's not like a massive blunder if I had played this myself over the board. Hey, you want to know something? He actually pushed the pawn, man. Let me go back. What? He actually, after king b6, he played e7, rook e8, bishop g5, king b5, rook c5. He still found the combination, which is very strong. He still found the combination. Better than us. So the stuff I would have played would not be as strong as this one chosen by Prague. He found a better one. There you go. You see the difference between an average chess player and a super GM. He found it. He found a better one. He found a better one. King is blocked. This guy is alive. Rook is being completely blocked in front of the pawn. So potentially we could still win with the sequence I have proposed. But this one's better. Again, black is in a bit of a zugzwang. White probably needs to think about what to do. Like, can you just move the king? Just saying. Just get rid of this guy and then just go shamelessly. Just go shamelessly with the king. And do nothing. Leave the rook here, leave the bishop here. The other bishop, let them just play stuff. Then you're going to go like this. And then if they attack you again, you're going to go here. I think it's playable. And yeah, if they go back, then you're going to go here. Okay, it's funky, but I wonder if we could just do g2, g3. I just wonder. Can we do that? Can we do that? King g2, king g3, and then a long, nice march. I mean, just forget about the pawn. Well, okay, you can take the pawn in the transit. During the long commute, you just grab the pawn on your way to f7. Probably you could do this luxury. Bang, boom, bang, boom. Can you do that? Well, you can, because of course you can. No, yeah, no. You actually okay? Here is another plan. G2, G3, G4. Boom. No, because this guy is actually blocking stuff. Right? Got to be very careful. Okay, there is another thing we have to consider. I was completely oblivious of. Bishop Bishop B4. Okay, you can still do this kind of stuff, but I don't think it's comfortable for white. So you need to take precautions now. It's Bishop B4 happening very soon. I mean, white needs to do something because that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. So actually, forget about my plan with King G2, G3, and all sorts of shenanigans here. The problem for White is Bishop B4. We actually have to think about this threat. How do you address this threat? Actually, hi there, Christoph. Hi there, Chris. How's it going, man? So, what do you suggest here, folks, for White? Given the fact that Bishop B4 would be the next move Black to play, it's a serious one. You gotta think about this. Because if you move the rook on E, makes sense. Black gonna force you a little bit with C2. Meaning, after promotion, actually, after rook E5, can't you just move here? No, you cannot, because there is a bishop here. Oh boy, he played it right now. Oh, don't you like this? He actually wants to do this. Another simple yet highly effective move. I have overcomplicated with nonsense, with massive nonsense like rook e5. And actually Prague moves rook d5. Reason being, I'm going to hit your rook. You're going to have to give me the rook. This is just fabulous. Absolutely. If c2, rook d8. Whoa. So, Christoph, my chess.com rapid is 2100 something. My blitz is like 2030. My last rapid and blitz over the board was like 1586, if I'm correct, ECF rating. So, incredible how Prague plays very elegantly amidst the fires. Rook d8, c2, rook drops, goodbye. Rook d8, king b5, again, goodbye. Because the bishop on g5 does an incredibly good job at stopping the pawn. Yes, c2 is a distraction that pretty much is a bluff, and it doesn't matter. What might matter is rook takes, bishop takes. But this is painful, already very painful. It doesn't really matter. Rook takes, bishop takes, c2, bishop g5. Again, it doesn't make a bit of a difference. Probably White should be resigning at this stage. Okay, you're probably thinking, is king b6 an option for Black here? You reckon, guys? It doesn't mean no. Actually, it's interesting. Wait, whoa, whoa. No, he can't do that. The bishop is dropping completely. Jesus. No, it doesn't work. King c6 is deadly. It's blunder and game over. No, he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing now. Well, c2 because there's nothing else to play. Unless you want to give the rook. If you want to play rook takes c7, or just, I mean, it doesn't really. Doesn't make a bit of a difference. A rook to g8 gonna be met with rook g8, I reckon, rook to d, and when you take the bishop, I'll just simply get a queen, right? That should be it. Then looking at this kind of checks and fork, and that's it. So if there's rook g8, I think the only spanner in the works would be rook g8, am I correct? Or c2? So the only distractions, the only bluff would be c2 and rook g8. These are just bluffs. And equally would be answered with rook d8. Am I correct, guys? So both c2, rook g8, white plays rook d8 for both of them. King can't move away from the bishop because rook takes the bishop, so we've established that. And Prague did it again. Rook d8, c2, rook d8. Yeah, there is, but I think we've analyzed that. If c2, rook d8, c2, rook d8, Rook takes E. And if bishop takes, we got an almighty queen on the back rank. C2, rook d8 loses then. C2. C2. How the heck do you stop it? No, you put the rook back on c5. You put the rook back on c5. C2, you put the rook back on c5. Okay, it's going to be bishop b4, right? Take. And they take. And then you pin. Okay. Is that good enough? C2, rook c5, bishop b4, rook takes c2, bishop takes c7, rook e2 winning whatever there is to win. Yeah, that's it. Is that winning? So c2, rook c5, bishop b4, rook takes c2 again. Bishop takes, you don't want to take with the rook, right? So bishop takes and rook e2 pinning the bishop. That should be winning. So that's what is after c2. And if there is rook g8, we're going to play rook d8. So that's probably the last stuff. It is tough. It is tough. It's FIDE World Cup. It's FIDE World Cup, and we got super GMs battling. That's what it is. And Prague is the guy that actually beat Nakamura yesterday twice. He is supposed to see things. He has to see things. He's a potential world champion. He's supposed to see very tough things and very complicated things. And he's very young, so has huge potential, this fella. And as we mentioned, he's already very strong. Okay, let Berkey's Ferenc thinking. I'm gonna go get another cup of coffee and I'll be returning, ladies and gents. So step 65, I'll be back. Just give me a two cup of coffee. Okay, so we're back now. Did they move? What happened? Rook d8 on the board. So rook d5, bishop b4, bishop b4, rook d8. Okay, this is tough. Okay, I know what's going to do. So Ferenc is going to do this. He's going to take the pawn with the rook, and bishop going to take, and bishop going to take, and we're going to play like that. And then this guy's going to play here. So that's the plan for black if they want to continue. Am I correct? F65, is that the case? So rook takes e7 now. I mean, you don't want to take the rook, right? You're going to get a queen, your opponent. So rook takes pawn, bishop takes. Bishop takes. So rook has to move on c8 because you got to attack this guy. And bishop going to go back. And you're probably going to push the pawn. King's going to come here. And you're going to play this. And then you're going to have to march with this guy. Somehow. It'd still be winning, but he's got to play very carefully. It'd still be winning for white here. It's got to be this. I mean, what else? Bishop e7. Rook takes. Bishop takes, and I'm still gonna go and see. Yeah, that's another idea. Okay, that's another idea. Yes, that's another idea. So which one's better for, or least worse for, black here? Taking with the rook or taking with the bishop? Bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes. And rook back on c, right? Looking after the c pawn and cutting off the king from traveling to attack this guy. I reckon that has to be the case. I reckon. Hmm. So you actually can take with both rook or bishop now. So you're gonna end up having a bishop versus rook. And that's the position. Well, obviously rook is way stronger now. But that's the least he can do. Hello there, Flim. What do you play here for black? How do you think black should be playing? Well, it's not, there's no good move for black, so to speak, but what's the best possible move here? Or the least worst? That's good. That means we're going to find out. So we have proposed here, step 65 had suggested actually bishop takes and obviously rook captures and bishop takes. And then I said, yeah, and then rook to c8. Having an eye on the c pawn and cutting off the king from traveling to attacking the d4. And if king to b7, we're just going to move on c4. And then we have, I think, 2-3 tempos allow our king to moving into action. Maybe we should be going just towards this pawn and getting the king just here on c2. Keep the king on c2 forever so we can move freely with the rook. That might be a thing. Good stuff is that, good stuff for white, for Prague, is that this pawn on g4 can't really move down. And it can very easily be attacked by Prague's rook. So I think that's a very, very reasonable plan here. That's a good one. I think that's just a good one. Plus 5.5, I think it's more than enough. For a super GM like Prague, should be a walk in the park. Walk in the park, yeah, he's gonna win this. But let's see what Burkis plays. He hadn't decided yet, but doesn't have. He only got two options here: either bishop takes or rook takes. There's nothing else. And I think in both scenarios, the white rook gonna end up ultimately on c file. Am I correct, guys? The white rook wants to be on c8 practically, on the c file. You don't go to c file, you lose very quickly, like in two moves. So let's ask the engineer. I'm curious. Right, so look at this one, step 65. Both moves are equally good or equally least bad. Bishop e7, rook e7, exactly the same evaluation. Rook takes, okay, let's just consider that. Bishop takes e7, rook e8, the bishop e7, rook c8, and I was absolutely correct about this one. Look at move 48, highlighted by the engine. Rook c8 is the only correct square for you if you want to stop the c pawn. This is it. So our assessment was correct here. Yes. You could take with bishop. You could take with the rook. Okay, he took with the rook. He took with the rook. Takes rook c8. I mean, if I saw this, Prague would definitely know and play it and apply it. If we saw it, Prague sees it for sure. I mean, it's just nothing else. And rook c8, indeed, there's nothing else to do. It's interesting how, even at the highest level, the grandmasters still cling to any little hope. Any little hope. They don't want to let. I mean, you know, it's an opportunity playing the FIDE World Cup. The whole world sees you, and you are like a superstar of chess. You know, it's just your career. It's what you do. It's almost who you are. So, of course. So they still cling to every single little bit of. Now, interestingly, Prague did spend like 3-4 minutes. He wanted to make absolutely sure that pawn would be stopped. Now I'm expecting Prague to play rook c8, exactly. I'm expecting Prague to play rook c8, which he did. And now black should resign. If it does, okay, that's just a bluff here. Won't matter. Takes and go on the white square. That makes it actually easy for white here. So that makes it easy for white because white's going to take. Don't matter. You're going to go g4 actually, and you're going to leave it there. And the king's going to march on nicely, get itself on c2, set the rook free, and do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Like rook e8 or whatever. As long as the king is on c2, it don't matter because the king won't be budged from c2 because it's on a light square. Yeah, that was it. Oh, he didn't even bother to take on g3. He just took on c3. He freed himself a bit quicker. Pawn takes, king takes. There's no forks here. He should resign at this stage. He should resign. Do you know why? Because there is one pawn. If the pawn wasn't here, Ferenc wouldn't have resigned for sure. So if this guy didn't exist, if the d4 wasn't on the board, black should continue playing because it's king and rook versus king and bishop. Tough one. Really tough ending. I think I've seen Richard Report playing and it wasn't easy at all. Checkmating another Super GM with king and rook versus king and bishop. It's a hell of an ending. But because this guy exists, because the d4 pawn exists, you can't do nothing. Takes and takes. You're going to get the king on the light squares. I mean, it's just, you know, move the pawn on the light square. King can't pass through. Bishop can't attack. If the pawn is on the white square, the bishop can't hit it. The king will never be able to cross the Rhine. And yeah, you're just going to go up and down. In the meantime, the king approaches, and this is it. Bishop will be forced to take the pawn when you push there, and that's just game over. I think we've seen all the games, guys. If you want to do some games analysis, is Pranav here? Hey, dude, that's absolutely fine, man. You know, come back next time. That's fine. Of course you gotta go. It's Sunday. People are doing all sorts of park trips and things and stuff, not just staying in front of the computer. So yeah, no worries, man. I'll see you. I reckon tomorrow afternoon, and maybe 1 hour in the evening because I haven't got the schools at the minute. So I'll definitely see you again. Just don't forget to follow me on Twitch. Maybe subscribe to the YouTube, and you get notified when I go live. And I'm gonna see you again. Maybe we'll be analyzing some of your stuff. I don't know if Pranav is here. I promised the lad we're gonna analyze one of his games. Step 65, would you like to have an analysis of some of your stuff? And for those of our friends who are sort of like beginners or intermediates, my last YouTube video was on restricting the opponent's pieces in the endgame. It's a very nice concept and makes a lot of sense. And it might be helpful for beginners and intermediates to understand exactly how to capitalize in the end. And what's super important is to make your opponent's pieces ineffective or blocking them. It's very, very, very practical. So if you kindly remind me, please, the username you view on chess.com, and then we'll go straight to your games archive and pick up something from your personal history in terms of chess games, of course. Okay. Well, luckily I got 2 cups of coffee. So. Okie dokie. Just tell me the username, guys, and we'll type it in. Or maybe just send me a link if you want to be more straightforward. Just copy paste the link, and we'll go straight to the game we want to be learning from and understanding it. We could definitely do that. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. You know, I think you are the first one that actually proposes to analyze a game they've lost. Do you know, normally guys, they tend psychologically to just analyze stuff they have won, which is nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely fine because there are good ideas all the time everywhere. But normally people shy away from revisiting minor traumas from their past because obviously it's very uncomfortable. You don't want to be reliving the bad experiences of the past. So that is why people avoid the trauma and they focus on the super good stuff. But the thing in chess, these little traumas actually could be very instructive. And actually, the amount of frustration, or let's say this psychological suffering, can be used to avoid getting that nonsense again into your game. Absolutely. If it's a brilliant sacrifice with the rook, let's have a look at it. I think it's absolutely fine. Hell, yesterday I was playing I wanted to play in the community bullet brawl, and then I got into a tilt, and then I just lost like, I don't know, 10 games or 15 bullet. Then I had to take a break. And then I slowly managed to reduce the handicap and, you know, making up some other. But, bullet, I try to stay away from the bullet. It's just too crazy. It's just too crazy for my taste. For my taste. Excellent. Let's have a look at this one. Nice one. I'm gonna left click on the link you posted here, and let me check if actually all of our friends see it. This one is with the sacrifice. Fabulous stuff, dude. Okay, let me check. Have we? Yeah, you guys see it. Fabulous. Let's do this. Okay. Actually, let me just cover everything. I don't want to see what you played. You are being the person with blacks. Uh-huh. Okay, cool. So okay, you're playing a Sicilian. You could play Dragon here. You could play whatever you want. You could play Naidorf. You could play, what's that thing? There's Sveshnikov. You could play Naidorf, which is E6 ideas. That's more looking like Naidorf. You can play the Dragon with G6. You could play the Sveshnikov with e5, right? I think these are, let's say, just three variations for the time being. Knight f6. Yeah, now you could go e5, g6, a6, e6. You could do this kind of ideas. G6, okay, they're looking like a dragon here. Bishop g7. Oh, I think I know what rook sacrifice you're talking about. You're talking about rook c8 taking on c3 knight. This is the theme, the eternal theme in the dragon is that the rook from 8 to c8 takes on c3 and make it an absolute mess. Especially it's in the Yugoslav attack when white castle's long. So when white castle's long and you get your rook here, you actually do want to take the knight. You do want to take the knight on c3, absolutely. And white should be aware of that. White should be absolutely aware of that. Yeah, that's so, ladies and gents, this is the theme in the Sicilian dragon, particularly the Yugoslav attack, because if white castle's short, it's not as powerful. Actually, you're going to lose. That rook makes sense to sacrifice it, boys and girls, if white is castled long. Castles, I think it's very sweet, very nice. Yeah, that's the battery. Queen d2, bishop e3. They actually want to play this. So let's explain for all our friends. White actually wants to play bishop h6 and get rid of this bishop on g7, which is the main king defender. And normally you want to go g and h and making a mess here and blasting open the h and g file. That's the plan for white. They may also play bishop to c4, adding more fuel to the fire. So knight c6. Okay, that's a classical dragon. Hey, thanks very much for being here, dude. I hope it's useful. You could also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put some nice videos every now and then. So you took... Also, let's just mention for our friends, I think we could also reply bishop, but that's a bit too passive, isn't it? Bishop d7, it's a bit too passive. We could do a6, actually. We could do a6 and... No, a6, bishop d7. Yeah, that also takes an eternity. Oh, we could also play knight to e. We could also play knight to e, right? And if there's this, might be playing that. But after this and this, we also have rook to c8 if you have given a chance. If you've given a chance. Do you know what I don't particularly like about trading knights? I'm not... Okay, you wanted to deflect. If I understand correctly, step 65, you wanted to deflect the bishop from this diagonal to this diagonal. I think it's a subtlety. This is a, so let's just put it for everyone else. Our friend wanted to delay the trade of the bishop on g7. The idea being, if white takes with the queen, they might be subjecting themselves to this kind of tactics. So let's just make it clear for all our friends. Is the idea of knight to g4, which is a bit uncomfortable. It is a bit uncomfortable. Because this dangerous bishop would be disappearing. That's just briefly put. So bishop takes, so now he deflected the bishop from this diagonal. And now you've got a tempo to deciding what do you do with the bishop on c8. Nice one. Sweet. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure, man. Okay. And you know what's sweet about bishop e6? Probably you'll notice, guys, it stops the bishop to c4. You normally want to get that bishop there, right? Well, they can't. Not now. That's a nice one. And white didn't manage to just play g4 and h4. It looks like they've been delaying it. They've been playing in the wrong order or something. Okay, maybe this is a bit too slow. a6. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say it's a wrong move. It's not wrong at all. But probably in order to play rook c8, you want to make sure there is no pawn loss on a7. And more than this, you want to ensure you've got a6 and b5 coming down the board. Okay, not a bad one. No, it's nothing bad about this. Okay. Man, oh man. Okay, he really wants to go to h6. Oh, there is a little trickery here. If you want to save your guy, there is something. Maybe it's worth investigating. I don't know if it's a theoretical approach. You may do rook e8. And when bishop h6, you're just going to play bishop h8. That's it. And now you're going to keep your bishop along this diagonal. And after rook c8, it's very scary. It is very scary indeed. So I think rook e8, if you really are very keen to save the bishop, probably rook e8 has to be played now, unless you come up with a bigger one. You come up with a bigger attacking idea. There is also another subtlety here. Rook 8 to c8, bishop h6, bishop takes h6, queen takes h6, rook takes c3, b takes c3, and queen a5. Bloody hell, I love it. That's how you play a dragon. Not mentioning this double attack on a2. This is the sweetest. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay, rook e8 is a bit like old people like me might be thinking about this one, but I think rook c8 it's a more youngish tough approach here. Probably the correct one. Rook c8, bishop h6, bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, b takes, queen a5. Very, very grim looking for white. Probably they should resign. This is just brilliant. Yeah, you did the right thing. You absolutely did the right thing. Hey, your opponent is also a wise guy. He didn't go for bishop h6. I think you can delay it now with h5. I think you should be playing h5 now. I think you got two options here, h5 or b5. Probably h5 to just a little bit stave off. You mustn't allow opening of the h with the rook, because then you do get toast. So I guess h5. Oh, b5. Let me see if actually the engine does recommend h5 amongst others. Well, g4 is going to happen, but you're not going to act on it. You're not going to act. You're going to push this, and if they take, you're going to take. And I think it's playable. Not bad, not bad. Let me see what the engine say. That's what the engine say at this stage. The engine at this stage says plus, okay, minus 0.08 h5. So step 65, you can't stop g4. But the trickster is, once you play h5 and they do g4, you are not going to take. You don't take. You do nothing. You actually focus on the b5, b4 ideas. Just to mention. Just to mention. Because after b5, oh, okay. I think he should be doing h5 now. Bishop d4, knight d5, h5. h5, bishop d4. Nah, you don't get the bishop back. Actually, you do get the bishop back. Bishop d4, knight d5. Okay-ish. h5. h5 is the main idea. h5 is the main idea. From my experience, I played the dragon a while and I looked at these lines, and most often h5 is being played here. Not bishop d4, not knight d5, definitely not knight e2, unless you push the pawn. So, let's go back to what happened. Bishop h6, okay. Oh yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's good for you, not good for the other guy. He actually fell into the trap. The trap is being you're going to take on c3. It's a so, ladies and gents, this is the thing with the dragon. You must be very careful. You better open the h for the rook when you do this, because if you do it at this stage now, black's going to take, and this guy's going to fall. It's exactly what happened, I reckon. Yes, and now you must take on c3. You actually must take on c3. Let's just pause it for 2 seconds for all our friends to look at this. This is the stuff in the dragon, people. You must sack the rook on c3. You must take on c3. And now queen a5, if I'm correct, because you're actually doing a super big threat, and white should resign. It's actually this. Forget about c3. Yeah, c3 is cool, but actually checkmate is even bigger. Not a very clean checkmate all of a sudden, but the attack is incredibly strong. Ah, Oh boy, that make it worse. I think he should have at least. No, he can't defend h2. He cannot. He could have played maybe bishop d3, maybe bishop d3 or h5. And after this kind of checks, he just tries to go away. You attack him, he goes here, and he just tries something like this. Okay, not the most comfortable, but hey. What's this? Bishop to what? I think I would have taken on h2 straight away. All right. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to do this? Oh no, you actually want to do this and you took the c1. Oh, okay, I get it. Then you want to play this. Then he's going to play this, then this and this. Ah, ha, I got it now. Nice one. You played queen a3 for bishop h2. King goes in a corner. Bishop b3, king to b1. Queen to a2, c1, and then c2 checkmate. Yeah, that's why you went to a3. That's a nice one. Oh, that doesn't mean nothing. Mate in 4. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice one. Your opponent did play slightly passively. Indeed, he did play slightly passively. Okay. So it's just one viewer now, step 65. Okay, we're going to have a very brief look at this one because I'm going to lose the viewership now. We had, I think, 2-3 people at some point, and if it's just one viewer, probably it's not going to do too much good to the viewership on Twitch, I'm afraid. So let's moving on this one. You're being white here. D4, knight f6, c4. There's nothing wrong. G6, knight c3. Okay. You can play the 4 pawns attack. It depends. What is he going to play? Okay. D6. Isn't it the perk or something? Knight f3. Bishop e2. Knight bd7. Okay, that's all theory. There's nothing wrong. Kings in. There's just nothing wrong. Castles. Let me just cover everything here. Is this a theoretical move? With knight e1? I mean, I don't see you losing or anything. Probably we can think about h3 and bishop e3 idea and queen d2. Exactly like similar to the Yugoslav idea. Step. Probably you may want to play this kind of stuff. Bishop e3, queen d2, knight e1. Blocking the center. a5. Knight d3. Oh, okay. If that's a theory, probably it's a theory. I don't play this with white. I normally play bishop e3, queen d2. I apply exactly the Yugoslav attack idea. I really want to get rid of the... So I want to get rid of this guy with the battery, and then I'm pushing h, and I don't castle. Not very soon. I don't castle. I'm just going with the h pawn. I think you could have dude, I'm analyzing now, and it's just one viewer. And if I'm getting like three guys online, I might be staying a bit longer. But so queen d2, I think it's interesting. Queen d2. So at least you are attacking something. Let me ask the engine. Queen d2, f3. So f3 to not allow the black knight nothing. Queen d2. Yeah, queen d2. That's it. Queen d2. Oh, I wouldn't open b4 now. I don't say you're losing or anything. I mean that, but b4. No, I gotta focus on attacking on the king side. b4 is out of my radar. Does the engine mention b4? It does. Rook b1, b3, b4, f3, rook c1. Okay. Okay, I understand. You want to get a pawn and elicit some rook straight to your advantage. I understand. Okay, I'm more keen on breaking the king's defenses, but I guess that's playable too. b4 takes. He's got to take now. He got to take because the bishop is completely paralyzed. Okay, c4 under threat. You took it off the board. Could you have played? But that's too passive. I like so much the bishop on e3. I just wonder, should white play knight e1, knight f3? I'm not sure about this bishop is such a precious attacking piece, and I wouldn't take that knight on b6. I absolutely wouldn't take that knight on b6. What does the engine say? The engine say knight b2 exactly, just in order to defend. Knight b2, nice. Yeah, just moving the knight off the way. And knight e1, yeah, it's the fourth line of the engine. Yeah, probably something. Yeah, I wouldn't have traded, that's for sure. So, step 65, I wouldn't have traded that bishop, that knight. I wouldn't, never. I love the bishop so much, especially when I'm attacking diagonally. No way. You got a better position here. I think the engine says 0-0, but I'm liking white here. It's not that bad. Okay. Hey, are they going to win a pawn or something? That's tricky if they touch that pawn. It's a little bit of a poison pawn because the queen is on the same file with the rook. That's a little bit poison, I guess. What? Maybe b5 wasn't the most active move ever. Maybe we were supposed to be playing knight b5 and then potentially this. I mean, just saying amongst others, and then this. Just saying, knight b5, knight a7, knight c6 ideas, if there is any problem. Then again, this guy is a little bit poisoned. We might be able to place them in a pin or something. It doesn't look very good for black to touch that pawn. Not an easy game. Not an easy game, but b5 feels completely unnecessarily. Very, very slow move, knight b5 indeed. Sorry, pawn b5 is a slowish move. You allow the guy to get more power a little bit. You can still play knight. Okay, that's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a blunder. Bloody hell. Ah, that's a blunder. Oh, but dude, you're playing blitz. It's not like you're having like 20 minutes on your clock. This is a blitz. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's just a little blunder here. I think you played a lot of very good and decent ideas, step 65. A lot of very good ideas. There's nothing, yeah, it's just a blunder here. It happened. In my bullets is yesterday, oh boy, I think I lost like 10, 15 games. And, when I didn't have like problem with the time, probably I've just given some pieces. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. No, that's okay. Probably the last moves weren't the best ever. What about this one? I absolutely like this move. Yeah, totally. Queen d5's risky business, hitting the knight. Queen d5, knight what? Queen d5, knight. This is sick. Queen d5, knight c5. Ooh, what a devastating move. Oh, what a tactic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that knight shouldn't be taken. The knight on b6. Very idle knight, non-existent knight for your super active bishop. Totally. Totally. Yeah, but this particular sequence now just looks very menacing for black. I think psychologically, black is not very comfortable here. He's gonna have to move this guy. And frankly, if they go like this, can we put more pressure? Of course we can, with the devastating knight a7. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Queen c6. Rook d6. Oh my god. If queen c6, rook d6. Is knight a7 mentioned? It is. Knight a7. Not as strong as rook d6. Wow. Okay. I think you might be needing a bit more time for this kind of stuff. So for a blitz, very difficult to find this in a bullet or blitz. Very difficult, I guess. Uh, chances are if you play rapid, you might be able to pick up more ideas on the way. Sometimes the ideas just help each other. The chess just plays itself. You just need to identify the correct sequence. Well, probably you are absolutely aware yourself of the stuff you've played. I'm just admiring the games you're playing, and I'm just looking at the beautiful stuff you guys played. Uh, I don't know how many good things I told you. Maybe in that Sicilian Dragon, yeah, I've just confirmed that the rook needs to take on c3. Normally, white goes g4, h4. So there are a couple of good ideas that probably I might have said. Good stuff, people. Very good stuff. Shall we do a puzzle? Just let's see. Let's see if we're able to do some nice puzzle here. Black to play. What? What's this rook hanging doing? Or is there another tacticality here? And actually, I'm winning very quickly. Oh! Is actually pawn going forwards? No, I'm talking nonsense. They're gonna castle, right? Is it just queen takes the rook? King's gonna play, and they just take the other rook. And if they do this, no, talking nonsense. Actually, they take with the queen, right? So queen takes and king plays. Pawn goes forwards. Check. They take, and then I'm gonna go here. Exactly. It must be a check. Check with the pawn. Okay, not over yet. Knight is being pinned, so I can't do too much about it. Queen is under attack. Knight is under attack. That's sweet. I can't move the knight. Ooh, but probably can I do this kind of stuff? Takes. Yeah, ultimately I'm having two rooks and bishop. So I have two rooks and bishop versus rook and knight. So potentially I think we're doing fine after this. Yeah, absolutely. Queen's gonna take, queen takes, pawn takes, king takes. They're gonna be grabbing here, but hey, you're gonna move the rook to safety. Gonna move the rook to safety, and yeah, I think we should be we should be winning. That is, if we don't blunder massively. We've got this or this. Which one's gonna be? If we do this, check, king has to play. Then it's an interesting looking position here. Do we have to do any queen sacking? Or this? Nah, that doesn't look very good. This, back. Okay, what's the tricky stuff? This is annoying. Bishop takes, king moves, check. No, you can't do this. Bishop is here. Queen takes, knight takes. Goes back. No, wait a minute. Can I start with the check? Of course I can. Then f6. Is it f6 afterwards? What the heck am I missing here? Or just take knight takes f2, bishop takes. This guy takes. And then I'm taking this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got equal material here. This is a trickstery, and you got to come up with something. Knight f2, it's kind of forcing. Bishop takes queen, and you're going to take the queen. Then if the bishop goes somewhere safe, we're going to take on c3, messing up the pawns on the queen side. B takes c. It can't be that bad. Yeah, knight f2 seems to be the right move. I don't manage to find any follow-up after bishop takes f2 and king d2. It looks interesting, but I mean I just took a pawn, king moved, that's true, but I guess knight f2 makes more damage. Yeah, well, in my imagination, that's wrong. What's the freaking winning move here? Okay. f6. Oh man, and I said f6. I did say f6. I said bishop takes, king plays, and f6. I did say it. And actually, if you look at this now, the bishop has to move. So this guy has to move now. And you do have a more attacking position, looking better now. If they go here, they might be having some trouble after all. This and this. Something like that. Something like that. Ah, that's a shame I didn't play f6. I misevaluated. I just misevaluated. I misevaluated. That's a shame. Okay. Takes, king takes, rook takes, bishop takes. Really? Okay, what's the deal here? What if I just take bishop takes and then queen comes here attacking the bishop? Bishop has to move back, and then I'm gonna go with the queen, maybe check. No, not check, going on c2. And then if they do this, I'm gonna do that. They're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, I think it sort of makes sense. Rook takes, bishop f. Well, whoa. Who cares now? Just taking the piece off the board. Okay, one last time. Let's think about this one, guys. Oh, this one screams to be played. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, this guy can be collected now as this knight as well. So, well, this. Well, they're going to be check, be moving, taking. Nope. That doesn't look good. It's not the right move here. It can't be. Could be some other. What if I just take the guy? Well, just take the knight off, and after this, I'm going to be running. They take, just running away. Just running away. But, okay, I don't know. What do you think, step 65? What's the deal? Do we take the knight? To which they might take the knight. Do I take... It's too dangerous because if I allow them to check me, I'm actually running into the knight as well. So that's a bit... Well, wait. Always this, but it feels incredibly painful. No, I think we have to take the knight. We take the knight. If there's any checks, we're just gonna, you know, running like this. We're gonna go c2, not d2. We're gonna go c2. But then again, if I take a day check, I'm go here. They go this. And this. Yeah. So I think I'm tempted to say take on f6. It's checkmate in 2. Even if they check me, I'm going on c2. And if they check me again, I'm going on dark squares. As long as the knight is here, they can't check me again. And I don't bother about the black knight because they can't check me. So by the looks of it, e5 takes on f6, right? e5 takes on f, I guess. Yes. E takes on f. Now, very important, guys, is king c2. If we go on d2, we are toast. So king to c2. And after this check happens, we're going to go on d2 then. Yeah, that makes sense. We're going to go on c2. They check us again and then go on d2. No more checks. And if they grab the knight, we're going to take 1 and 2 checkmate. Well, if they take with the pawn, then we're going to play this, check. And I think it's looking very difficult for them. They're going to go here. We're going to play this, checkmate. Okay, thank you very much, Step 65. Thank you very much, Flem, Deesbold, and I don't know if I missed anyone, but I do appreciate, guys. Thanks a bunch. Tomorrow, I reckon 1 p.m. UK time. And, you know, I think in the evening, 7 p.m., we might do another one. Why not? So, Step 65, thanks very much, brother. You've been a constant presence here, and it's very good. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to get 3K coming back and the other good guys to do more puzzles. Excellent games. Thanks for sharing the games with us. And absolutely see you very soon, people. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we get in touch more often. Awesome stuff.